I said I'm speaking from Nigeria. I'm speaking from Nigeria, Uyo City to be precise.
Oh, understood.
Yeah, how's South Africa?
It's okay. It's okay. We expecting some thunderstorms this side for the next 2 days, but we'll see how I hang on the call.
Okay, okay.
Yes. And in Nigeria, how's it?
Yeah, it's great. We are building towards the Christmas that's happening just about it's about one day where
Oh, the celebrations. Yes, this side as well. We also have
yeah,
what whether this the hottest season for a manhood initiation this side. December is a prime time. Every day there's celebrations. So it's the festive.
yeah,
Mm.
yeah, it's a festive though. Hello, Khalil.
Hello, good evening.
Yes, good evening. How
Yes,
you doing?
I'm fine. And you?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining. Where are you joining from?
Joining from Sierra Leone.
Sierra Leone.
Yes.
Wow, good to have you. Hi, Sierra Leone today.
Uh Sierra Leone is quiet. As I was entering, I heard you talking about the festive period. It seems busy in various quarters. Everybody's busy, engaged in several programs. I almost missed this session, but it's good I'm here now.
Yeah, it's good to have you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm actually speaking from Nigeria, from Uyo
Okay.
City to be precise. Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
All right, so we just hang on a bit so that others will join us and then we can start the session ASAP.
That's fine.
All right. So for now, we can feel free to network, just unmute and let us know where you're joining from. Sadu Uma, thanks for joining. Good evening. Can you hear me, Sadu? Basha Ahmed. Basha Ahmed, good evening.
Good evening, sir. Good evening.
Yes, how you doing?
I'm fine, sir. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. Thanks for joining.
Nice
It's good to
meeting you
have you.
all.
Where are you joining from?
I'm joining from Accra, Ghana.
Okay, Ghana, thanks for joining. Okay, so we're just interacting with amongst ourselves, waiting for others to join in so the session would start in earnest. So for now, let's just interact. Let us know where you're joining from. Let us know your name, possibly what you're doing around the SDGs, your occupation, the project chat. Let's just get to know ourselves before the session kickstarts fully.
Yeah, maybe I want to take a 4 shots.
Okay,
Uh
okay then. Right on.
Yes, I am Khalil Suri Kamara from Sierra Leone. Um, I am a practicing journalist. I am a station manager for one of the uh, community radio stations in my district. Of course, it's actually the first and only young people's radio station in my district. This radio station was established as a result of the advocacy effort led by young people across the community I stayed. Of course, the radio station has been engaged in implementing or taking activities around the SDG. Um, we raise awareness around climate change, and of course, as a result of our active engagement around awareness raising on climate change, we receiving support from NGOs and community leaders to intensify our campaign. We currently are awaiting a support, a grant from Plan International around awareness raising campaigns around climate change. That support is expected by January. We are finalizing the paperwork with them before the holidays. And then hopefully by January, we go into the communities to intensify our campaigns. I've been also engaged with schools around my community on the same theme, awareness raising and also tree planting in different schools. So as of now, we've established school gardens in different schools across the city where I live. We work with girls directly to establish school gardens and also capacitate them on environmental sustainability and the likes. These are some of the activities I'm engaged with. However, I'm also working for the government of Sierra Leone as I'm working with the Independent Police Complaint Board. It is the civilian oversight institution for the Sierra Leone Police. So I work as a communicator, as the outreach officer for the Northwest region. That is the region where I stay in Port Loko. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Khalil. That is very brilliant. That's very brilliant. The works you've been on, and I believe is from the sound of it, I believe is really making a whole lot of impact, and that is what we are looking at. Okay, so that aligns so much well with the philosophy surrounding the SDG Connect. That looks into uh impacting the world, because without
Yep.
action,
Yep.
the sustainable development goals can never be met. I mean, development and empowerment of communities can never be met. We need to move from awareness to action and all of that. So you're doing a great job. Well done. Okay, guys. So let's take turns now. Comrade Mokta Adogo, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining, Adeleke. Akin Pelu. Please, I hope I'm pronouncing all these names correctly. Okay. Innocent Salvation. This person is joining. James Opot. Thanks for joining, James Opot.
Thank you, sir.
And all right, I can. Afashima Apir. I hope the name is correct. Bashar Ahmed. Okay, I recognize him already. Akin Pelu Kolawale. Thanks for joining, everyone. So we're just interacting. We're just interacting. You can unmute, let us know your name, the city you're joining from, and then any other project or initiative that you're working on. It's good to connect. This is the best opportunity to connect before the session starts in full. All right. So feel free, unmute your mic, and then let's connect. Thank you very much.
Good evening. Am I audible?
We are listening to you.
Very
Yeah,
well.
good
Go ahead,
evening.
Okona.
Thank you so much for confirming. I'm having a little bit of thunderstorms my side. I'm joining in from South Africa, Ukona Kwinana. and I work across the SDGs, primarily at the center of them all is 17 based on the collaboration, but we do work on the SDGs 3, 4, 5, 8, and 10. And that's more specifically because of the strong focus on youth empowerment and intergenerational knowledge transfer. And we try to focus all that we do based on where I am. I'm based in the Eastern Cape, which is where Nelson Mandela was from, which is more traditionally based and more intercultural. And so the exchange is much easier when we're speaking of the sexual reproductive health rights, education, and community-based development. I do regularly moderate high-level policy and stakeholder engagements in my areas. And I also produce a podcast called Youth Unveiled, and also Assert Media, which is a magazine by Africa for Africa Women. I use that as a tool more specifically with my team when we're dealing with making sure that the youth voice and the advocacy and the impact more on the projects that we do is amplified. And so when we're working across the Southern East and also the West Africa, parts, I currently have teams that are mobilizing around what we call the AU Youth Policy framework. And we're hoping that we'll be having more engagements on that so that we are actually, going across the framework together instead of in isolation. And that's why SDG 17 is quite impactful for us to collaborate on as an active focus on launching in Nigeria specifically and also Ethiopia. We do have a project that is scheduled for March 2026, and it will be a national project on our end, which is a mental health awareness project, but it will be on the regional based on the AU youth policy that we have. Um, that has been granted for us to launch in Ethiopia specifically for this time round in 2026. And also the really exciting connections that we're looking forward to and the learning and, contributing within the SDG Connect in this phase that we are in. I'm looking forward to meeting more partners, collaborators, and for us to, put it across the AU Youth Policy Framework that we've already mobilized. And there goes my thunderstorm, my side. Thank you so much.
Well, thank you very much, Ukona. That's really a great one. You're doing a very wonderful work over there, and we trust that with SDG Connect, we are going to connect, with like minds, with partners that are going to, help better advance, the initiative that we have already initiated in our domain. So kudos to you. I want to really give it to you for the much work that you're doing towards advancing the SDGs. Thank you very much.
Hello, everyone. My name is Salvation Innocent from Taraba State. Am I audible? Hello.
Yes, you are.
My name is Salvation Innocent from Taraba State. Just a recent graduate of Taraba State University. I studied environmental health as a course. And I see this platform as an avenue where I put in practice what I've learned over the year as a student. So I've also worked as a community mobilizer for some of the.
Hello,
Hello?
hello.
Hi.
Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yo, I've already worked with the State Ministry of Environment for a lot of campaign awareness as a community mobilizer and also as a awareness volunteer. So I see this platform as an avenue where I will learn more and also create awareness regarding climate change and plastic waste recycling. Thank you.
Thank you very much and well done, Innocent Salvation. Thank you for the works you're doing on the SDGs, and thanks for being a part of this project. Please, let's feel free to engage. We are going to start the session in less than 5 minutes. So let's use this time to engage amongst ourselves and just connect with ourselves. Feel free to let us know what you do, your name, the city you're joining from, and the SDG you represent, the work you're doing. Just let us know. One thing is certain here: we're all like minds. So definitely there are people around here that resonates their passion resonates with yours. So in the course of speaking up, it is an opportunity, it's an avenue for you to meet those people who are also doing something around the area that you're working on. And that's the best way to engage with potential partners. Okay. You can you may be Nigeria, you may be in Kenya, but you have other persons within other domains that can actually take up what you're doing in Nigeria and then replicating in other cities. It's a way of expanding the scope of your initiative. So speak up and then feel free to connect. Thank you very much for everyone that has joined. The session is going to start very soon, but let's take the next 5 minutes to still again. Thank you. Please
Hi,
kindly help
colleagues.
us
Good
to
evening.
mute your mic, please. Ensure your mic is muted. Ensure your mic is muted. If you don't want us to kick you out of the station, please
Hello,
ensure your mic
everyone.
is
This is
muted.
Comrade Mukhtar.
All right, Dogo, go ahead.
Hello, everyone. I'm so excited to see many faces, new change makers, innovators across the African continent. Like this is Comrade Mukhtar Dogo from Meduguri, Borno State, the northeast part of Nigeria. I represent the SDG of education and poverty. Education is the backbone of every society, especially in our region, the northeast part of the country. Education is key priority to help many vulnerable people, children, and to empower them with basic skills in order to eradicate them out of poverty. So this initiative we are keeping on touch with more people, more like-minded people to make positive change in the lives of those who have been affected in different sectors, especially in the issue of insurgency and many. So I believe that these two most powerful SDG will going to help my community to get basic knowledge and to be empowered across the nation. So thank you so much for this wonderful opportunity, and I'm looking forward to interact with more minded people to make impact in the society.
Okay. Good evening, everyone.
Well done, Dogo. Well done, Dogo.
Okay. Good evening, everyone. My name is Mukhtar Adamobula Karima. Hello? Can
Yes,
you
go
hear
ahead.
me?
Go ahead. Go ahead,
Okay,
Adam.
my name is Mukhtar Adamobula Karima. I'm also founder and executive director of Breathe with Green Youth Development Initiative. Our base working in Borno State, Nigeria. So our work, our thematic focus lies on education, climate change, youth empowerment, livelihood support, and peace building. So some of our achievements so far we have done in previous years. We carry out tree planting and reforestation projects to the remote communities. So we carry out training. We are able to secure support from Nigerian Youth Futures Fund to implement project on peace building SDG 16. For sustainable peace and security in conflict striking communities. So where we train youth in various communities. We train 100 youth from various communities on conflict management, prevention, and violence. So that- that's our work we do.
Hello, good day, everyone. Please, can I go on?
Yes, go on, please.
Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Abubakar Sadiq Ahmad. I am from Adamawa State, and I am a very passionate advocate for the Sustainable Development Goals, which that actually gave me a name that I'm widely known as, which is SDGs Allergy. And I am very passionate about SDG 17, which is Partnership for the Goal. I am dedicated towards bringing more young people to become actors on climate change and other SDGs, because I believe SDGs is a very broad framework that I alone can't actually achieve. So that's why I channel my own efforts towards influencing more young people to actually join. So over the years, I have implemented projects and reached youth across 13 states in Nigeria, covering all the northern part of the country and some northwest part of the country and the north central part of some states in the north central. So, and I'm also the founder of Action for Youth Empowerment and Development, through which I deliver my impact to the community. Thank you so much. It's a pleasure to be here.
Yeah, we wanted to check
Hello, good
some.
evening, sir. Hello, good evening. Am I on?
Yes, okay, go ahead.
Okay, good evening,
We just have a
everyone. Good
minute
evening.
to kickstart the session.
Yeah, good evening, Willie. My name is Ikpeme Samuel. I'm calling from Uyo, Akwa Ibom State. I really appreciate this opportunity to connect and to impact on our community. My passion stems from the Sustainable Development Goals. Goals number 3, that's sustainable communities, gender equality, and environment. Currently, I'm working on a project that we look at the community and see how we can utilize the economy of the community and sustain the environment. We are working on WASH, that is water sanitation and hygiene. And my organization currently we deal on health issues, implementing HIV program, health awareness, creating community engagement that people should be aware of what is good with their health and the community to make it sustainable. I really appreciate this opportunity to connect and to impact on our community. Thank you very much. I really appreciate this opportunity. I am on, and I think it's a good move, and we will do more. Thank you very much.
Hello, good evening, everyone. So,
All right, evening. You are going to be the last speaker for now. We are going to get right into the session because we are 15 minutes in, so that we can wrap up on time. Please go ahead and be quick.
thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. You're welcome. Good evening. My name is Amin Yusuf, a young professional development advocate from Kaduna, Nigeria. Currently, I'm working with OGP, that's Open Government Partnership in Kaduna State. We engage with programs focusing on policy dialogues, civil engagement, and capacity building. It's a good pleasure having everyone on board here. It's a good opportunity for us and everyone. We are willing to dedicate our everything to see everything goes as planned. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It's been a wonderful time so far with us, and I must say that I'm really wowed by the level of impact that we have been creating across our communities, and it's really the way to go because SDGs is for all of us, and we must not just sit back with the knowledge we have about the SDGs. We have to ensure that we take actions to ensure that the SDGs are met, you know, in our various capacities. So thank you very much. Once again, I would like to welcome you to this wonderful session of the SDG Connect. This is the first session that we are having for this very phase of the project, and I welcome you all, and I thank you for deciding to join us in this project. It is going to be a very wonderful impact that is going to be created at the end of the day. So thank you for joining us. We have participation across different cities in Africa, Nigeria, Sierra Leone, South Africa, Kenya, Ghana, Uganda, Ethiopia, and other cities. Okay, so it is not it is a very serious project, and we trust that each and every members, each and every participant here with us are going to take it very seriously. I want us to take it very personal. Okay, I want us to take it very, very personal that these actions must be initiated and met. All right, so I welcome you all to this very remarkable starting. And I trust that today's session is going to be robust. For today, we have two persons, two very influential persons who are going to be speaking to us and then giving us insight into the cost of this project. Basically, this project, this is the first, it's going to be a one-off session. This session is going to be the session that exposes all of us to the concepts behind the SDG Connect and the expectations that we all have to, you know, um, meet at the end of the day. So the next session that we're going to have is a session where we are going to, come back together and then evaluate the impact that we are able to create individually. Okay, so we expect that all the participants pay attention to this very session because this is where you get all that you need to know for the project. After now, you'll be expected to, execute some task, which is going to be the hallmark of the project. All right. So before I call in facilitators for today, let me just do a quick overview of the SDG Connect project, and of course, the parent organization Reactivate Africa Foundation. So Reactivate Africa, it's please, I hope I'm audible.
He put it up.
Hello.
Put it up.
Yes, you're audible.
Please,
very
can
audible, very audible and clear.
to mute
Yes, you
your
are.
mic. Mute your mic if you can, please. Mute your mic if you can, please. All right. Thank you very much. Okay, so Reactivate Africa Foundation is a non-profit organization that is committed to raising organizations, raising individuals and communities, in line with the framework of the Sustainable Development Goals. So simply, Reactivate Africa builds people, knowledge around people, and create platforms for people and communities and organizations to, come together and then drive the actualization of the Sustainable Development Goals. Okay, that's just on a summary. And we have our website, reactivateafrica.org, that you can check out, other details about our organization. So, particularly today's session is not really to talk much about that, is to talk about the SDG Connect project that is, before us right now. So, just a simple snippet into the project. The SDG Connect project is a project that spans 5 years. This project was initiated in 2024, and it is expected to be terminated by 2029 into 2030 when the SDGs will be terminated. Okay, so there are a whole lot of measurable impact that is expected that the project should meet at the end of this 5 years period. So the project operates in batches, in cohorts. This is just one of the batches. Okay, so we have to come together and then execute our part, because we may not be able to have all the people interested in one cohort, one batch. Okay, so this is just a batch on its own. So it is expected that after this batch, there are other batches that are going to come in and then still do the same thing that you're doing. And in some cases, we do have people who have already participated. Like in this very session, we have people who participated, who have been in the project. Please try to mute your mic. Try to mute your mic. The person joining with Techno KM5, please try to mute your mic so that we'll be on one page. All right. So okay, please just give me a second. Let me try to mute the mics.
I don't have produce myself.
Will, is it possible for you to mute everyone, please, so that we can have a wonderful time? Just mute everyone.
Yeah, hello, convener, please.
All right, thank you very much. Please, let's try to respond to instructions so that the session is not going to take too long. We are projecting this session to last for just 1 hour, and I believe that is going to be so. So, like I said, the SDG project focuses on bringing people together and then providing them with the knowledge and understanding about SDGs and how they can align their values, their proficiencies, their capabilities, and their resources to solving problems that are relevant in communities, that are dominant in various communities across Africa. Okay, so that is the purpose why we're here. And for this very impact edition, we are focusing directly on how you can come together and identify a particular problem, maybe one, maybe two, depending on how you're going to go about it. But it is expected that after this webinar, you're expected to identify a particular problem and then initiate, put together an idea about solving it. It could be in a very simple way, but it has to be something impactful. Okay, it has to be something impactful. You could decide to, use for this. I talked about him working in a radio station. You could decide to run a radio campaign. You can decide to do a 30-day radio campaign and then talk about a particular subject, that has an alignment with the SDGs. It helps to solve a problem, it helps to solve a problem and all of that. There are a whole lot of ideas that can, emanate you and the problem that is dominant within your community. So that's the essence of this very project. Okay, that's the essence of this very project, and I think with that, I'm going to call in the facilitators we have for today to, take on the session so that we can close on time. And for today, we'll be having Mr. Oju Oluwa, who is going to be speaking to us, and we'll be having Madam Rachel Chuku, who will equally be speaking to us in this very session. So, just a second, so I confirm if they're on the call, and then I can give them the access to open all and. All right, so okay, so we first take on Mr. Ojolua, who will be sharing his experience and giving us the tips. He will be focusing, his speech will be focusing on giving us the tips to crafting simple but impactful projects that aligns with real-time community challenges. And also it will be highlighting the steps that we can take in evaluating project success. Most people implement projects, most people host projects, and then at the end of the day, a lot has been done, but there's no result that has been gotten. There's no impact that has been created. So his session is going to, highlight more on the things that we have, the metrics that we are supposed to take, in order to be able to um, ensure that whatever project we are putting together meets the desired impact, and it has to resonate with the real problem that is facing a particular community or a domain. So thank you very much as I welcome Mr. Oluwatobiloba.
All right, thank you so much, Willie, and good evening, good morning, good night, and good afternoon, wherever you are.
Ojoluwa, who is the director and
All right, thank you, Willie. Am I audible?
all
Please
right,
can you
okay,
confirm
okay.
that?
Okay, welcome, sir. Thank you very much for joining us this evening, and we truly appreciate you. And I want to also bring to our minds that the person that will be talking to us now is the Director of Partnerships at the Sustainable Development Solutions Network Nigeria, and he has been doing a lot in around SDGs. He's making a whole lot of impact. We may not have the time to really give a rundown of his profile and the impact that he has created. So just want us to celebrate him as he takes on the session to speak briefly. Thank you very much, sir, and welcome.
All right, thank you so much once again, Willie. Please can you confirm if I'm audible? I am audible.
Yes, you
Very
are.
much audible.
All right, thank you so much. Once again, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, and good, wherever you are joining from. And I'm so glad that I'm connecting with you all today. And a good one from a dear brother and friend, Willie. Um, he has been doing wonderfully well, and I know that you being on this project have been doing greatly well as well. All right, not to bug us much, I believe before we can be a part of this team, you must have known much about the SDG. So we are not going, we are going straight to the point. Now, I want you to think SDG as a way of life. Sincerely, until we begin to see it as a lifestyle, it becomes might to us. And that is why, as we speak now, Nigeria is rated 146 over 164 in the world when it comes to SDG ranking. Imagine 164, and we are on 140 something. We only have less than 20 countries that we have been able to, come over. Again, we are meeting just 17%. So to let you know that it's just beyond projects when it comes to the SDGs. Then it has to translate to what we call lifestyle. So I see SDG as a behavioral. It has to first of all come a behavioral view. Then if our behavior changes, it becomes now an attitude. So from attitude, we can now begin to live a lifestyle. I mean, that is the background I want us to know tonight. So having said that, it now brings us to the team that is expected of us, in creating projects. Now, if SDG is a lifestyle to you, or is a lifestyle to us as Nigerians, as Africans, as Sierra Leoneans, and whatsoever country you are joining from, then it helps us to reshape whatsoever problem we are solving. I've always said it. Not all technology is necessary for your location. Yes, they might be good, they might be fine, but is it necessarily adaptable or needed for that particular community? And that is why before any project comes on, and I believe the SDG Connect tends to bring about grassroots development. First thing we need to do is needs assessment. Please, I want us to put that down or put that at the back of our mind. Needs assessment. Yes. And why needs assessment is quite very important is because what is affecting my community may not be what is affecting your community. But just because, everybody is shouting climate, for instance, everybody now say, it's climate. Yes, of course, climate, intercepts all the goals. But you need to now be dynamic. What specifically is my community being affected with? So the solution we might be procuring for instance, Abuja may not be what we are procuring for Lagos, because yes, we are not facing the same problem. So, and that is why needs assessment is quite very important. Before you start anything, make sure you have a survey. This and that. Waste management in paper, in nylon, in plastic, so there's a need for us to take a little survey. Not necessarily it has to incur cost. So you can even do that survey within 10 to 20 people to know this is the problem we are facing in this community. And I want us to also know something. When we talk about project, for instance, or impacts, they are good in number. Yes, we have been able to feed 5,000 people today. But the point is that, have you been able to reduce hunger? Are those people not relying again over you? So some of those projects are not sustainable. We used to say, Nigerians have planted 25 million trees. I used to ask, where are the trees? Where are the trees? So it's better you start small and begin to grow your impact to the extent that you can even track and monitor the progress of whatsoever impact you started. And this now takes me to the second tip after the needs assessment is come up with a concept note. Yes, SDG Connect is a program on itself, but it's also very important that you submit like an overview of what you want to achieve, even to the management of the organization, so that we will know that in Oyo State, for instance, we want to do this, we want to do that, and it has been well stated.
Hello, sir.
We lost you. Are you still there?
I think he might be having a little challenge with his network.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, maybe.
I believe
Tell later.
he's going to get back in
Yeah,
just
sure.
shortly. All right, so I believe we are following through in the session because everything that is said has to, get fully into us so that as we get fully into the project, we're going to uh, fully understand what is expected and, of course, what is not expected in the project. So while we expect that it joins back, possibly is having a network issue, uh, I want to equally prompt us again that SDG Connect project is impact based, and the hallmark of the project is to ensure that a particular solution is being initiated at where you are. And then we're going to have metrics to be able to check that to see what you've been able to do. And I mean, we're going to get there. I'm going to really brief you in detail how it's going to be. All right. Sometimes we just get on a program and then we're asked to initiate a project. We do not know the futuristic advantage. Okay. Mr. Jolua is back. We do not know the futuristic advantage of that very initiative that we may be taking up. It might look very little, it might be very simple, okay, but there's a futuristic approach to each of this. There's a futuristic approach to each of this. All right. So you could take up, sorry about that. Okay, so you could take up a particular project and based on how it is being implemented and the sustainability plan that you have behind it, you could scale it. You could have partners or maybe people in the
All right,
community.
Willie, I think I'm back now.
You're
Willie,
back,
can you
right?
hear me? Yeah.
Yes, you can go ahead.
All right. Sincere apologies on that. I think it's a network issue from my end. So I was trying to say that after coming up with a concept note, you will now need to now look at what we call smarts. Because how do we now frame what we want to achieve? We need to look at what the acronym of SMART. I believe many of us must have known about SMART. That's it must be specific, it must be measurable, it must be attainable, it must be reliable, or and it must also be time bound. Like I used to say, in one of the classes I joined during the project management, while I still having my project management classes. One of our tutors said that project management is like you cooking a soup. Now, as much as little as salt may be, salt is very important in soup. As little as palm oil may be, is very, very important in soup as well. As little as onions may be, it's also very important, meaning that no one is less important when it comes to project management or sustainability or SDGs. Nothing or no one is less important. That volunteer that you are seeing is very important. And no project is a waste of time. Yes, like I repeat that again. No project is a waste of time. But like I said the other time, that it must be impactful. It must meet the need of the people. It's not just for jam. As low as now, let me just give you a very short scenario. Um, During my undergraduate days, and I love because I suffered from this school garden. I was not I was like, what? Who teaches agriculture on paper? This is madness. So that really struck a whole lot from me. And in fact, I did my first research, my first project on the effective use of school gardening as and learning agriculture in secondary schools. Believe you me, immediately I had the opportunity of giving back to the society. That was the first thing I did. I started a project called Revive the School Garden Initiative. So, because I saw it as a problem, and I also did a survey, and I noticed that a lot of people studying agriculture, for instance, is not by choice. They were forced to study it. So it's a problem. So, I've been able to get my needs assessment, and I was able to now come up with a specific, with a meaningful document that helps to guide me. So in writing your concept notes, you must understand the place of smart. So you must be specific. What do I want to achieve? What do I want to achieve? Don't forget that SDG Connect is also time bound, just like Willie said the other time, 5 years. But for this for the impact session, how many years? 3 months, 6 months, 8 months. So you must consider short term, mid term, and long term. So these are very important. You must be specific in what you want to achieve. 10 students back to school. 10 out of, street student back to school. That could be your goal. You probably, that's goal 4, quality education. You can say, supporting gender equality in climate change. So you must be so specific, so that by the time they even wake you up in the middle of the night, everybody can know that exact that you are solving. Again, it must be measurable. Like I said the other time, your target audience. Let me quickly use a very good example. I met someone. That person came for a consultancy conversation with me, and he was like, I want to venture into agribusiness. And he said, I want to grow tomato. I now asked, who are your target audience? He said, Nigeria is big now. We have 200 million people. Target audience. I said, no, you are not serious for business. So as much as it looks so, everybody wants to hit, everybody hits. No, you must have a target audience. As much as the social impact word is, the SDG is, you still need to also carve out who are you servicing, who are you supporting, so that by the time resources are coming, or by the time we are trying to mop up statistics and reports, we'll be able to say, so from Benue State supported young people between the age of 10 to 15 years old. So you must be measurable. We must be able to know that, this is what you want to achieve within specific, time. And your goals are 10 students, 15 students. At the end of it, these are the KPI, key performance index. Of course, you might not even have 100%. By the time you go to a school, for instance, it is obvious that 100% will not pick up whatsoever thing you are teaching. But you should be able to say, okay, 60% out of the 100% that you have been able to teach will take up whatsoever thing you have introduced them with. It could even be this sanitary pad, maybe reusable. You want to go and teach them in school. Not everybody will take it. We need to be sincere with ourselves. So, but your document should be showing the adoption rate that we are looking at. Because of time, I think I will have to quickly move forward. Now, it must be attainable. A lot of us, we set a lot of goals that are not even attainable. We know that the specific time we are bringing on ground, the resources on ground, even the human resources now, even with the financial resources, cannot make that project achievable at that particular time. So we don't just set in ambiguous goals just because we want to wow people. No, we have always said it that small action, big impact. Small action, big impact. So imagine all of us on this group, over 100 the other time. Imagine we are able to take small action. Already we have done big impact. It's not just about the big number alone. It's about intentionality in that small action that we are taking. Again, it must be reliable. It must be retainable. So reliability in terms of, if I bring it to your state, for instance, it can still stand the test of time. That is what, for instance, in science now, there's what we call validity and reliability. In fact, reliability can also be, vis-a-vis repeatability, whereby they take it to US, it is still giving us the same results. They take it to another country, it is still giving us the same. That is where the word reliability comes in. So your project should be reliable in terms of solution driven. And again, it must be time bound. I think I said this the other time. Now, by the time we have considered all of this in bringing that our thoughts together, we need to now also get in, because don't forget that we are working with grassroots now. And like I said the other time, as Pepe, Maggie, everybody is important. So also every stakeholder is also very important. Now, one of the reasons projects, let's use the word project here because we are all project managers. One of the reasons they don't get immersion, or why they don't get sustainability, is because we tend to think for the people. No, as project managers, we are not expected, particularly in the developmental space, we are not expected to think for the people. You work with the people. So we say, oh, we want to work with a school, for instance. We say, oh, we don't need their parents now. Okay, I just need to go to the principal, talk to the principal. So what about if you carry out that initiative and they get home, they beat the student? I don't want to see you carrying paper around. Why? Because we have not been able to carry the parents along. So every stakeholder is very important. So list out your stakeholders. Now, in categorizing stakeholders, we have what we call the primary stakeholders. We also have the secondary stakeholders. The students are also very important. They are key stakeholders. The parents are key stakeholders. The community leaders are key stakeholders. The parents are key stakeholders. Everybody must be involved. Even the community members are also key stakeholders. So please list out your key stakeholders and engage everybody equally at the level it should be. Again, you must also understand that you also need people. You need to raise leaders. So you need to also see how the way Reactivate Africa is raising leaders now. You also need to go to the grassroots and raise volunteers so as to support you in that project you want to go on. Let's say, for instance, you want to go to school. It does not make any sense that you are the only one going to school. Make sure you get one or two persons to follow you, not just for attendance taking, but to see that, oh, he is not a one-man show. So it's a way of replicating yourself in leadership. So you are also pouring yourself, you are giving out leadership skills in that regard. So it's very important that you also onboard one or two persons to support you. Make sure you also commit responsibilities to them. Oh, you are a career mentor, you are a this, you are a that. Give them tasks. Let them go and do it. So one way or the other, we are also doing a bottom top approach towards leadership. So this is quite very important in seeing that we have sustainability. Again, depending on the project you want to do, it's also very important that you create a team within a team. So let's take, for instance, of recent, I conducted a project in Oyo State. And by the time we got to that school, it's a project on renewable energy. I wanted to see how I can, support, or rather, yes, support students in becoming solar engineers. So by the time they get out of secondary schools, they are already thinking in the green line, in the green economy line. So to make sure that that project gets sustained, all I needed to do was to create a renewable energy club within that school. Of course, there was an environmental group in the school before. I made sure that I didn't just match them up with that environmental. Of course, I now did a collaboration between that environmental club and the new renewable energy. So it helps to synchronize, to see that, they do a transfer of knowledge, and that alone can easily ease a lot of burden on my neck. So leadership is quite very important. We must understand that we need to duplicate all of this knowledge that we are having at this moment. We need to step it down to both the younger generation and even the people involved, the beneficiary of that project. Again, is monitoring and evaluation. Well, I would speak a bit about funding or funding. Now, you don't always need money to start anything. Yes, money is very important, but if you see money as a limitation to achieving your goal, you may not do anything. Money is quite very important because it helps to stimulate, it helps to speed up whatsoever action you have. But money should also not affect you or deprive you of starting. Now, let me give you a very good example. You remember the other time I was talking about the school project. Oh my God, I think I'm out of time, right? The school project that I started, I just did one. The following year, an NGO saw what I was doing and they funded 10. In fact, the one I even started was not that, but because they saw what I was trying to do as a solution, someone just brought in that, can I replicate this in 10 schools? So imagine I was waiting for big money to come. Possibly or probably I wouldn't have gotten that opportunity spotlighted and to be, to scale that project. So please, the organizers of this project may not be rolling out funds as you expected, or even at all. Why? Because it's a grassroots project. It is expected that within your locality, let's see how you can mobilize funding. When we talk about funding, we are not talking about you go and digging borehole. When we are talking about this project, we are not even saying go and dig borehole. No, it could even be at the place of, maybe creating what's it called, a recycling hub within a school, so that the school can use to generate fund for themselves that they can use to buy book. Now that is also using one action to is a ripple effect. Is supporting quality education. Of course, it's a Go 13 project, but one way or the other, you are solving other problems at the same time. So, because of time, I may have to begin to wrap up now. I was actually given 15 minutes, but if you allow me, I can take you for the next 2 hours. I won't be tired. So, I believe there will still be more opportunity like this to have conversation. Please make sure that from the beginning you have your monitoring and evaluation metrics well stated. I've always said it. It's not when you get to the middle of the project you are now saying, oh, okay, how do we monitor this project? No, get a metrics of monitoring and evaluation. You could create a WhatsApp page. You could do a task. Oh, by the time they answer that task, oh, that simply means that they are getting retention on whatsoever thing you have taught them, for instance. So you can say, okay, maybe you started a school garden like me. You can say, okay, yeah, send pictures. Oh, send this, they send that. Even by you not being there physically, you are still getting updates. And you can, one of the ways you can even do what last year I remember we did a competition, a school garden competition. So that alone, spotlighted a whole lot of students around those schools we engage to speed up actions like that. So please, now it can even be as simple as, I remember I started Niger Climate Walk last year, and believe me, what we just did was, come up with a walk, and at the end of it, we now came up with what we call a press conference, which we invited government, NGOs, and private organizations, and we roll it out on media, and we are following up with policies. So it can as simple as that, and it could even as simple as joining other existing initiatives to make it more better. I'm telling you, impact don't go beyond that. You could work with schools, you could work with religious organizations, even community organizations as well. Uh, I will be available for questions, and sincerely speaking, apologies. I've spent a lot of time as against what was allotted to me. Thank you so much, Willie. I think because of time, I would like to stop it. Please. Thank you, and I believe you've been able to grab one or two.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Ojuluwa. I mean that was very, very insightful, and I think uh, in the law court where they're making a consensus judgment where the just one speaker, one of the judges will speak, and then other justices will just concur. I think, but not for the fact that we just have to do what we had planned. We would have just said, let's end the session, because that session, I mean, your presentation has been very robust and detailed. Okay, so please let's celebrate Mr. Jolua. Let's celebrate him. Thank you very much, sir. So please, if you have a question for him, you just wait. Towards the ending of the session, we are going to take that session. So just right about now, we are going to take the next speaker who is here. We're going to take the next speaker who is here, and I believe the next speaker is going to equally do justice to the subject of this very webinar. She would be on the strategies for selecting simple, high impact project that addresses community challenges and approach to a seamless implementation. Okay, so I'm talking about no other person but Madam, a very noble lady, Rachel Nwachukwu. She is the prime mover of the Claims of Hope Initiative, GHI, and she holds a bachelor's degree in human nutrition and dietetics. She is a passionate community health promoter and advocate for the SDGs, who is passionate about impacting the lives of people positively with special interest for the vulnerable children. She has, done a whole lot. In addition to this, she has volunteered repeatedly for a number of different organizations and has earned an international certification in sustainable development leadership. Please, let's give it up for um, our facilitator, Rachel Nwachukwu.
Good evening,
Okay,
everyone.
yes, good evening, Rachel.
I want to confirm if you can hear me clearly.
Very clearly from my end.
Okay. Thank you for having me this evening. Good evening to Mr. Toby. Mr. Toby, special meeting you here too. Okay, Mr. Toby just did justice to
to say I was actually happy he took yeah. I was actually happy he took the first section. So I will just give practical examples of projects I have handled. So what are we, okay, community projects. Community, I just want to define what community project actually means in a sense. Community projects are organized efforts designed to address specific problems. So I want to talk about specific problems. So we often see people going through as in doing a project, combined projects. They will do this, do that, do this, and at the end of it, none is a success. So doing a specific organized effort, we come together, bring our ideas, think and achieve that.
So sorry, Rachel. Please, can we mute our mics? Can we mute our mics, please? Thank you very much. Rachel, please go ahead.
Okay, thank you very much. And achieve the goal we want to achieve. So I practical examples with projects done in Abuja. And I want to say I want to talk about setting project goals. So one, the goal must be clear. Okay, sorry about that. Okay, the goal must be clear and specific. It must be smart. Mr. Toby dealt well with explaining what smart actually means. The goal must be specific, measurable, achievable, relevant, and time-bound. And planning the projects, one, we have to identify resources. I want to talk about identifying resources. When you're drawing your plan, what do I actually need for the project? That is the first question you ask yourself. In this project, am I needing human resources? How many people do I need? Do I need volunteers? Do I need funds for this project? You draw out your plan. What are the resources you need for this project? So I want to give an example with a project, a school project I personally carried out. I'll talk about a community project, which we did collectively, and individual project I organized myself. So first I did, first we have to seek for ethical approval. I reside in Abuja. So, and in Abuja, once you want to do, you want to carry out a project in public secondary schools, you must obtain a clearance or ethical approval from the education board. That is the standard in FCT. So I don't know how it is with other states. So if we have participants in this project in Abuja, and your goal, the SDG goal you are targeting is education, you want to go to school and carry out a specific education, the first thing you do, as part from going to the school you chose to carry out your project, you have to go to the education board in Gariki area 3. Around that area, the secondary education board is obtain a permission. You will write a letter to them, and they would give you a permission to carry out the project in the school you want to. In the letter, you have to indicate the school you want to carry out the project, and they would give you a letter to the principal, and the principal will schedule the time you would come and have a face-to-face meeting with the students. That is one. And secondly, going to the school, you might actually need financial resources for it. And in my project, I wanted to open an SDG club in a school. And I needed placards for the SDGs, SDG 1, 2, 3, zero hunger, education, and all that. And meeting somebody to do the placard for me, which I would donate to the school, it's the money they told me for it at that time. It was a personal project. I could not afford it. What did I do? I looked for that is when collaboration comes in. You would look for an organization who their goal also aligns with your goal, and you write to them. You are not asking them for money. This is what you are asking them for. So I wrote a letter to an organization asking them for collaboration. I would need placards to donate to the club I want to open in the school, if SDG placards, if they can provide the placards for me. And seeing what I wanted to do, it aligned with their goals, and they provided me with that, and that solved the problem of me seeking for money for someone to produce that for me. That is where collaboration comes in. And in the school, when you get to the school, you might be faced with pressure of, how will I entertain these people? What will I do? How will I do this? When it comes to entertainment, when you tell them, I am just, because in one of the schools I went for too, the teacher insisted I provide refreshment. And I told them, okay, I want to meet with the student. It is the student I want. So if I want to provide refreshment for the teachers, I just need so amount of teachers available. Those are the people I can actually provide a little refreshment for. And what did I do? I just placed drinking water on the table, and drinking water on the table and soft drink and I told them, this is the amount of teachers I want to be present, because they are not my targets. The students are my target. So you should also look for a way to reduce resources for yourself. What if they bring if they bring a suggestion which you cannot. Doing a project, you don't necessarily have to break a bank. You don't have to break a bank. You just tell them, this is what I want to do, this is what I want to achieve, this is what. Okay, you must not have maybe arguments with them. Okay, this is the number of teachers I can provide refreshment for. This is what I need. And at the end of it, I achieved my goal. I was welcomed in the school. I presented what I wanted to present, and I called out those who are interested in the club, and they put down their names and their classes, their phone numbers, for if during the day, reaching out to them and asking them, how's the club? How are you coping? And I appointed a leader for the club and a teacher. One of the teachers volunteered to head the SDG club, and that was how I achieved my goal. That is if you are going into the school. So I don't know how it is applicable in other states. If you would go and if you would need to obtain permission from education boards within the state, I don't know for other states, but I am saying what is applicable in Abuja. Secondly, if you choose to do a community project, doing a community project, we have community heads, we have local heads, and doing a community project, you have to carry the community along. The community, they are not just recipients of the project you want to do or the project you want to carry out. They should participate. If it is a community project, they should participate in the project. And getting that number of people, you have to go through, they call them gatekeepers. There are community gatekeepers. In Abuja, there are some areas they will say Meangwa. You have to go to the Meangwa, the leader of the community. He is the one that would come and call out when he comes to call the people around. In 10, 15 minutes, you see the whole place with people. They have places where they have women leader. You have to go to them, tell them what you want to do, so they would help you bring out people from the community to carry out the project. So when we wanted to carry out, this is a group, a group project we did. So we wanted to go into a community. Sorry about the cry of my baby. So we wanted to go into a community. We were doing a project on renewable energy, and we were talking about trash for cash. So that was the topic of our project, cash for trash. Sorry, please. Cash for trash. So we wanted to create a hub in the community where you can bring your trash and we will weigh it and give it out and give you money equivalent to what you brought. So going to that community, it was not easy for us because we don't know people in the community. So we were told they have 3 chiefs in that community. As little as that community was, they had 3 chiefs. We visited each of the chiefs. We wrote a letter to them asking them, we want to come and visit you. We want to carry out a project in your community. I'm still talking about resources you need for a project when planning your project. So we wanted them to be part of the project. So when you see your community leader coming out to tell you something about, you will be interested to listen. You'll be interested to do whatever he is advising you to do. So they were happy to receive the project. We talked about the project. We explained what we wanted to do. And it was a very good idea. One, we told him, when we come, you will see your community clean. People will learn to keep their debts. People will learn to keep the community neat since they know they can actually exchange their dirty for. So we were bringing sanitation. We told him the benefit, we were bringing sanitation, good health. When people live in healthy environments, good health and all that, and you will empower your community. Those that don't have money will be able to save some little cash from their trash. So that you have to go through these gatekeepers so that you can have the audience you need from the community. So, and also talking about collaboration, I talk about, you cannot do everything on your own by yourself. If there are organizations around you that their goal aligns to the specific problem you're solving. So when carrying out a project, you have a specific problem. Like Mr. Toby said, you will do a need assessment. In this my community, what is really the problem of this community? What do I really want to do? So you solve a specific problem. Then if it is a project you want to do and you don't have much resources for it, definitely you don't need resources for carrying out a successful project, yes. But in cases where you would need, there is no need breaking a bank or asking or going through lots of stress on how to raise funds. You write a letter to organizations around that also has an interest in what you're doing, and they will align, give you whatever. Once you are not asking for cash, you are asking for things they can actually do to support. They will be very delighted. Like I gave an example of an organization I wrote to, and I was asking them, produce placards for me that I would donate to a club I wanted to create. And they were happy. And during my report, they were spotlighted in my report. These are the people who helped me achieve this project. And they were so happy that they, even in the report, I shared the reports with them. So this is, you tell the organizations, I'm going to spotlight you in my reports, and people would appreciate. I would talk about you on my page, on my Facebook page, and people would know what you're doing in the community. And thirdly, assign roles. You must not do everything on your own. You cannot do everything on your own. Assign roles. Look for people to help you. Look for volunteers. If you do carry out everything on your own, you will be overwhelmed. So you would look for volunteers. Who can help me do this? Who can help me? And it's not as if okay, you don't assign projects and leave the individual. You also you check, you call, how far have you gone, what have you been doing, and keep track of what they are doing. And so keep track of what they are doing, ask them questions, where have you gone, like the progress of it, ask them the progress of what they are doing, and they give you feedback. As a team, you can have Zoom meetings, you can have Google Meet calls, 30 minutes, 15 minutes, talk about the progress of your plan and all that. So this just that is what I just add to what Mr. Toby said. He has actually talked about everything. He has done, he spoke much about details of everything. So this is just what I wanted to um add to what he has said. Collaboration, I said one. Ethical approval in where you want to carry out your project. If it is a marketplace, I forgot to mention, if it is a marketplace, you still have to get permission. I could remember a project we wanted to carry, a hygiene project we wanted to carry out in a marketplace, Wuse market specifically, but we were not able to carry out that project we had in mind, because when we got there that day, we thought every market is an open place, you can have access to the market and everything. We never knew there are heads in the markets. You have to go to them, write to them, and take permission from them that you want to come and educate people in the market about hygiene and all that. So if you have a local market around you and your project is tackling a problem, you've identified a problem in the market, is it the hygiene, how people keep the market and sanitation and all that? If your problem is solving a problem in the marketplace, there is still need asking for those in charge of the market, writing to them. It's just a one-page paper, writing to them and telling them, I want to do this so time. I want from this time to this time, I'll be coming to educate the market women about this, about that, about this. They will be aware so that when they see you, sometimes they can even help you. They can help you organize them. They can help you bring them together once they are aware. So that project was not successful because we were not allowed access into the market, and that was how everything ended that day. We had to go back with our broom, our rakes, and everything. So ethical approval, important. Collaboration, look for organizations whose goal aligns to your goal, to the problem you're solving, and ask them for collaboration. And lastly, don't do everything by yourself. Don't do everything by yourself. Look for people to assign roles to. Thank you very much for your time. Thank you, Mr. Willie. I should be ending here. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Rachel Wachuku. That was a very beautiful insight into this very phase of the project. I mean, there's one thing that I take out very key from the two uh, presentations, okay, that are of course really intertwined. So that is collaboration. It is There's no impact that is possible, with just one man. Okay, you could do it, but you can always do more when you collaborate. When you collaborate with people, and then collaborate with people like minds, with people in the community, with organizations that can support you, and even with people who have the resources. You might have the idea. Most times we have the idea, but we may not have the resources. Sometimes we have the resources, but we do not have the time to execute the what our resources can bring on the table. So sometimes you need someone who can be the implementer, and then you would be the person giving the resources. You could have the resources, but you don't have the network. But when you're able to understand the the concept of collaboration, it's really going to, take you places. So thank you very much to two speakers. I really believe that this session has gotten its expected breakdown, so that all the participants are going to, fully aware of what is ahead of us. So thank you very much. I want to before we end this session, because we are going to take some questions. I want to personally take us on a few things, and may I remind us that this project is an impact base. Okay, that that is requires everybody, all the participants, to take action in one thing or the other. And when we hear community, reach out to community impact, not necessarily, the other day someone reached out to me and requested, do I have to go back to my village to be able to do this? I said, no, please. Because when people hear community, uh, not necessarily it has to be in the rural area. Not necessarily it has to be in our places of birth or in our villages. No. Okay, I'm just saying this based on the question I just answered a few days ago. Okay, so communities may has to do with your immediate environment. For instance, if you are a student, your immediate community could be the campus. Your impact could affect your immediate community. You could decide to do something within the campus. You can decide to take up an action within the campus. You can decide to do a campus cleanup initiative, put together a campus cleanup initiative. You can decide to uh, put up a social media awareness if you're maybe a communication student, or if that you have, an expertise, if you are fully grounded on with the internet. You can decide to use your page to run a social media campaign about gender equality. You can decide to talk about health if you're a health student, if you're a health professional. Okay, so there are different communities that you can target, not necessarily a particular domain, maybe in our villages, as the person asked me. So thank you very much to the speakers who have done justice to this session. I'm just going to add just a few footnotes before we hand over the session. May I remind us that Reactivate Africa Foundation is bringing us together to achieve impact that is going to speak volume for us individually. Like I said, we are going to get to a point where you realize that the initiative, that the project that you are going to be putting up, actually be sustained to become something that it raises funds in the future. It could be something that that sustains livelihood. Okay. So we are going to get to that point. I just want us to have a relaxed mind and know that this is something that we can achieve already. I can see from the reviews we got from the beginning of the session, you can see a whole lot of us are doing so much beautiful impact. We are creating impacts in our different communities and countries. So I believe that this is not going to be an exception. So let me just quickly run us through the expectations for the project implementation. So immediately, I believe all the participants we had issued out the program calendar, has the activities that takes on afterwards. Okay, we are expected to commence the next phase of the program after this webinar, which is going to be I think the submission of your project ideas. It has to, you have to really up with the calendar and ensure that you don't miss out. It again. Please let us know if you're not on the WhatsApp group. We are going to reshare the link on the chat box so that you can join. And then again, the attendance, there's a link on the chat box for you to fill in your attendance so we know you actually attended this webinar, and it's very, very important. So let me take the next few seconds, the rundown of the project expectation in terms of the impact. Okay, so the objective for this very phase that we're going to be going into is to for participants to propose a low-cost community impact project, okay, that aligns with your own the problem of your immediate community and what you stand for in terms of you know, each and every one of us has a different SDG goals that we it resonates with, our interest resonates with. So it has to be something that is aligned with the SDGs, with one or two or three of the SDG goals. Okay, so you're expected to come to curate an idea, a solution, and then submit to us. And here are the expectations. This is the objective. It has to align with any of the SDGs from 1 to 7. It has to be something that should be executed within 1 day, between 1 day and 30 days. For instance, if you want to just, put together an activity uh, that is going to, be completed within 1 day, it is accepted. And then if you also want to take on an activity that is going to take up to 30 days, it is also accepted, but provided the thing is something that is very, very much seamless to achieve. Okay. While we are considering 30 days in this case, we understand that there are some persons that would want to take on maybe a social media campaign. It could be a 20-day, a 30-day social media campaign about a particular subject around the SDGs. So that is why we are considering up to 30 days, span for that very, uh, for the project execution duration. And then another objective is that it has to produce visible and measurable community impact. All right. And then your idea must require minimal resources. It could be volunteer based, it could be uh, actualized with donated items or in-kind support, or something that your pocket can carry, or something that you already have the resources. You might have the knowledge, all right? Sometimes you have the knowledge, and the knowledge is the only resources you need to actualize that project. Sometimes you might have the network, and the network is just the only thing you need to actualize a particular project, not necessarily funds. Okay, we are looking at a project that is very minimal in the resources that is required. And then the we have the template where we are going to share with everyone. It has the objective in detail and the themes. So it means that all the ideas that you are going to be coming up with has to be in alignment with either SDG 1, SDG 2, or any of the 17 SDGs. So we have already given um, the we have already given the samples, okay, for SDG1, for instance, no poverty. The theme focus has to be reducing hardship and improving support for vulnerable groups. And then we have sample initiatives, sample project examples that you can, just to give you clarity, you're not limited to the examples that we are given, we have given. It's just to give you clarity on what is expected. Okay, for instance, in terms of advocacy for SDG 1, you could raise awareness on government or local and awareness on government or local poverty alleviation programs. It could be an awareness, just to talk about the strategies how governments or maybe local organizations can help in alleviating poverty in a particular community. Okay, you could decide to take action by organizing a small community donation drive, or maybe to share food, clothes, toiletries, depending on what your resources can carry. But provided your impact is measurable, is visible, is achievable. All right. You could decide to do volunteering by assisting vulnerable families, for instance, with essential services like running errands, home support. You could even decide to go to families and decide to wash for them. You could go to families and decide to, sweep for them. What we want is the impact. All right. What we want is the impact because you're going to, report back to us with videos or photo evidence for us to see. And then you can also look at other areas of project that you can execute within this very SDG. And then this is the same sample, this is the same examples that we have given across other SDGs, SDG 2, SDG 3 to 17. So once we share the document, it's expected that you look at it, especially the SDG that aligns with you, you look at it, and then you now restructure the idea that you would share with us so that you can now submit. Please, it is expected that you follow through in the program calendar so that all the program expectations will be met. All right. And then the guidelines for the proposal. We are going to share a link with you. The next email you are going to receive this night or tomorrow will come with a link where you are going to submit this proposal. And these are the guidelines for the proposal. Now, number one is visibility. The solution you're submitting must be practical and achievable within the 30-day period. It has to be visible. In a simple term, it has to be visible. And resources required should be minimal, focusing on volunteer effort, donation, or in-kind contributions. All right. And then the next thing is the measurability of the impact. Okay. It has to be measurable. For instance, proposals must include clear metrics for success. For instance, number of people impacted, the number of people you intend to impact. It could be minimum of this or maximum of this. Okay. Amount of waste reduced. For instance, if you want to go into waste project around waste reduction, or for instance, number of trees planted if you want to go into planting of trees, for instance. So it has to be measurable so that at the end of the day, if you said you are going to plant 5 trees in Abeokuta, we can see that you actually planted 5 trees in Abeokuta. So it has to be measurable. And then another metrics is the community involvement. We have talked about collaboration. I think the hallmark of the presentation by Rachel and the first speaker was bordered on collaboration and how to leverage you know relationship with people and then get the project achieved seamlessly. So it has to community involvement is very, very important. And then sustainability is your project, the solution you're proposing, could it be sustained after the first after the implementation phase? Could it be sustained? Can it be scaled further? Okay. For instance, you've heard what Rachel said that okay, I think it was Joe Luwa that said it, that he initiated a program. And then at the end of the day, he was able to implement in just one school. And then thereafter, based on the impacts that the program created, he had support to implement in about 10 other schools. And so this is the expectation that if you're able to complete one phase, for this project, it should be able to scale that program to the next level. And then it could even form a form of higher impact, that even puts food on the table. All right. So there are many ways it could be done and sustained. And then documentation as a last metrics. Documentation is very, very important. All projects must be documented with pictures and video evidence. Documentation should be clear, should clearly show the before and after impact of the initiative. All right. And then the project that is not allowed, very, very important, that is not allowed for this program, are high impact projects, complex or long-term infrastructure projects, or projects that are long or very complex, and projects that need specialized technical expertise which you do not have, and also projects that exceeds the 30-day execution limit are not allowed. All right. And then the tips for successful uh, proposal and project delivery, it has to focus on impact. And I think we have talked about this when we talked about being smart. It has to, be measurable, specific, it has to be realistic and all of that. And the submission format, I think this is the last point. The submission format, uh, before you submit, before you click on the link that we're going to share with you to submit your proposal, you have to take note of this. First, you have to ensure you have the title of your project. You just maybe one or two words. You just provide a clear and concise title for your initiative. Give it a name. And then two, it has to have an objective, a brief description of the goal of your solution. Okay, here should be goal and objective. So the goal has to be, just a single statement. So your objective could be more than one, two, three, four. All right. And then the action plan, you have to outline the steps you will take to implement the initiative. Impact metrics define how you measure the success. Very, very important. And then the resources that are needed, you have to list the materials that you need, and if volunteers are needed, you have to state it there. And then you have to also let us know the timeline and the documentation plan for your project. This you have to just have it at the back of your mind before you initiate uh, the link to submit. All right. So that is for that. The program calendar will be reshared to our emails and on the WhatsApp platform. Please, it is expected that everyone would follow it through, and then we are not going to miss deadlines. This session has been recorded. It will be reshared again to us. Where you have missed any parts of the session, you are going to, have the opportunity to listen again. So thank you very much. At this point, I'm going to give just 5 minutes for us to give our reviews and ask questions where necessary. Thank you very much. Hello, if you have any question, you can. This is a better time to ask your question. If you had questions for the facilitators, you could ask your question now, and then they are going to respond. Thank you very much. Do we have any representative from Kenya? Hello, please, am I audible enough?
Yes.
All right. So if there's any question you have for us, you let us know before we wrap up the session.
Okay, good evening. Good evening. Please, am I audible?
Yes, please go ahead.
I have two questions for now. You said something about that the project we must take must be um use minimal resources. So I need to confirm if like any project we are taking, is it really that you guys like depending on the project and how feasible it is and how impactful it is, you guys do release funding. But for now, any project we are picking, see that we are going to be the one to fund it personally. That's why you're advising to sure it we are using minimal resources. That's my first question. Then the second question is based on the project.
Please summarize your first question again.
Okay, you said that any project we are picking that we should try and make sure that we give this minimal resources, that anyhow you're going to do it, that the money that is coming out from our pocket. I don't like say something about that. We should make sure that it's not going to consume our resources. So I want to confirm whether any project we are picking, so if you need any funding, you are going to be the one to personally fund it. That's my question. I don't know where you get.
Okay, I get that. I go ahead to your next question.
You can say something that about taking a project that you must have expertise, that you must not take a project that we cannot handle. So I wanted to ask if maybe you see something that has been disturbing you, if even though it's not within the area of expertise, we have someone you can collaborate with that's within that person's area of expertise, and that person is not here. For me, like me, that not within the project to reach out to that person, then onboard that person, then work hand in hand with that person and take on that project. That's what I wanted to confirm as well. That's the final question. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much. So let me go straight to the first question. Now, this project, it is, like I said, it is impact-based. It is an impact-based project. The hallmark of the project is to get people to, initiate actions, no matter how small. Now, the organization is not going to give you money to initiate a project. All right. And now it is expected that, we have unlimited potentials. All right. And we live in environments that are filled with so many challenges and problems that we can actually solve. We could solve them with words of mouth. We could solve them with our social media pages by, talking about it or, just raising concern. All right. So that is what is expected of the program participants to do, not necessarily going into a big project that requires money. For instance, if you're a student and you're in the communication discipline, you can decide to, run a campaign, and talk about something that you have already mastered. All right. A health professional can decide to, just launch a social media campaign and then talk about how malaria should be prevented and treated. All right. Projects that are very simple to do, simple to implement projects. That is what we are talking about. And then for your second question, talk about uh, if you are going to need extra hands. If you are going to need extra So if you are going to need extra hands for your project, it is expected that the expertise or the resource person that you want to use is readily available and not someone you necessarily have to pay. It could be your friend. It could be someone that is close to you that offers to do it on a volunteer basis. All right. So not necessarily someone who is not within. If it is someone who is not within, you just have to check within the project. Okay, I'm sorry, I got interrupted. So just check within yourself. It has to be based on the available resources that you have. All right. I hope I've been able to answer that question.
Yes, thank you very much, sir.
Yeah, thank you, Odudu. All right. So do we have yeah, I would like representative from uh different locations to speak. Odudu has spoken. Dudu is speaking from Nigeria, I guess, Akwa Ibom to be precise. And do we have a representative from Kenya, from Ethiopia, from South Africa? Okay, I can see Okona. Okona is there. Just let's review the session in the next 5 minutes before we wrap up because the session is going to end right, in a few seconds. And I want to, while waiting for anyone who is going to speak, I want to use this opportunity to, on behalf of the organizers of the SDG Connect project, I want to use this opportunity to thank you all and welcome you into the project. And we are very much available and ready to uh, to work with you, to partner with you, even beyond SDG Connect. Okay, so if you have a project that you need to reach out to us, for collaboration, we are very much available. All right, and then just feel free if you have any reservations, you can always reach out to the admins on the participant on the program page. They are going to, get that sorted as soon as possible. All right. So I want us to, have uh, the, the free opportunity to collaborate. You have people, great minds here that you can, establish connection with, and definitely is going to yield well for each and every one of us. So do we have anyone who's going to say something before we wrap up? Okay, Nkoyo.
Good evening, sir.
Okay, Dorothy did. Good evening.
Yeah, it's Dorothy, sir, not Dorothy.
Oh, Dorothy, sorry.
Yes, yes, thank you. I want to say thank you very much for picking me to participate in this program. I I can't remember filling form for SDG, but I will tell you that I'm one of the happiest young person. I had no idea what SDG is all about. To be sincere, I'm into NGO field, but I didn't know that it's more detailed than what I'm hearing today. The message and everything, running a project, I've really learned a lot. My question was posted and I discovered you've not answered. Please, is it possible for us to have a sample of what is expected of us, even though it's a rough, so I can be able to use it to come up with my own project? The things you were explaining, I didn't get all of them. If I can have a sample of what you're looking for, I think I'll come up with something for January so I can plan my project, please. And for I discovered that someone is here that is from Akwa Ibom State. I really love to meet the person. I'm also in Akwa Ibom. I do majority of my projects here in Akwa Ibom State. So I would love to partner with the person. I don't know him, but I would love to connect to the person. But please, is there any way I can get a sample of what is required? Thank you, sir.
All
And
right,
thank you to the
Dorothy.
speakers too. To the two speakers, thank
Okay.
you very much. Thank you.
All right. All right. So, yes, the samples are ready. We are going to push it out to your emails as soon as this session ends. If you don't get it this evening, you're going to get it tomorrow, latest. The samples are ready. I mean, is going to give you clarity on what is expected, and you are going to be able to uh, conduct yourself seamlessly in terms of the project. All right. So Nkoyo wanted to speak, and Uma. Okay, no, just Nkoyo. Nkoyo, please go ahead. Hello, Nkoyo. Okay, I
Good
think she's
evening,
not.
everybody. Can you hear me?
Okay, we
Hello?
can hear you now. All
Okay,
right,
good
yeah,
evening.
go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. In fact, I'm so happy to be part of this program. So very happy to also be part of these presentations we have had this evening on SDGs Connect. And why I'm particularly happy is because I have been in a program like this for over 20 years because I worked with NYC, and I was not directly attached to the SDG Connect program. My program was HIV and AIDS project. And also, I was also in core discipline and reward program, or do I say project. Why it is so interesting is because most of what we have had this evening from Mr. Olorun Toba and Madam Rachel are the things we did in the past. But I did it working for NYSC. And having retired, I have started my own NGO, and every knowledge and experience I've had in this past 17 years I worked with NYSC, I've brought it, to the programs I'm beginning to handle. I so much enjoy the way Mr. Olorun Toba gave us a breakdown on the tips we must have when we are talking about writing proposals, or when we are looking at projects we want to carry out, the very important things we have to bring to bear before we go into, taking up a project. It's more clearer to me because some things were neglected then that I actually did, but I did not key it into I did not tag it into a particular area of need. All we did then was, oh, this person is writing this project, this area, this community needs this, particular thing in their community. And then ours was to just go ahead, get the core members to do what they needed to do, even though in all of the projects we handled then, God helped us, we scaled through. This program this evening is an eye opener to a lot of things I did not consider as being very important in writing projects, or in carrying out projects. Madam Rachel talks about you having to connect with some people. She talked on ethical approval on projects you want to carry out, be it a school, be it a market, be it anywhere. You must, get approval. Though we have carried out a few projects this period, we went directly to the school. I don't know if Madam Rachel is still there. We went directly to the school. We wrote directly to the school because we felt that was the right thing to do. We did not know that we have to go to the education board in area 3 to obtain a permission. So listening to this, their presentation this evening has given me an insight on the things I need to do that we were not doing rightly. So I am so very happy to connect with you all, and I want to be a change maker and an advocate for, do I say, I want to be a change maker. I want my NGO to be such that we will continue to reach out to people, those in communities where a lot of needs are not, gotten. We do this in our own little way, even though we are not collaborating yet. We are using what we have, to give back to the society, to give back to the communities. We have been to, sorry, I'm taking it too long. We have been to a few schools already where we carried out humanitarian projects, using our money. But with everything we have had today, we will be looking for those to collaborate with to make it easier for us, so that we'll be able to carry other projects, we'll be able to carry out other projects seamlessly without having to stress to look for money. If it is people, to work with, we have people on ground. But so far, so good. We thank God for everything we have done this quarter, this end of the end of year. And we believe sincerely with this lecture, with these presentations we've gotten this evening, we will do better from next year. And the proposal we are going to drop will be such that we will not even have to spend money, but we'll be able to carry out, whatever program we are going to send in as our proposal, be able to carry it out seamlessly without any problem. Even where it comes to money, we will see how we go about it, so that we continue to reach out to people who are really in need of help out there, so that they also will feel belong, that they belong to a society that cares so much about them. So this program is a program everybody should key into, and we must show passion in what we do, because if you do not have passion, you are talking about low-cost projects. Some people will look at it and say, I cannot do this because I do not have the finance. I do not have the money to carry out this project. Sometimes it has to be something you are passionate about. This one is very key. If you're not passionate about helping people out there, you see everything as being so big. Everything has been, you look at it from the angle that, without resources, without funds, I cannot do it. But when we are passionate about it, we look for ways of reaching out to these people or carrying out projects without necessarily complaining, and we still do it rightly. Thank you so much for everything. I'm so grateful, and God continue to bless us all and give us the strength that we need to carry out this program, to carry out projects as regards SDGs Connect. Thank you, and God bless.
Thank you very much, Madam Koyo. It's really good to have you. Madam Koyo has been joining us from the city of Abuja, the capital of Nigeria. Thank you very much for being a part of this project. And we look forward to doing more. Thank you very much. So at this point, I think we would wrap the session. We have one hand up.
Thank you so much, Program Director, for the day. We are so blessed to have this session. Honestly, on my end, and I can resonate with Madam Goyo without, going and dwelling into because of the time limit. But I resonate with the last point, and I must say that when you are focused on the goal, it's much easier, because no matter what distraction comes your way, um, the goal is the goal. And I like the presenters for today, how they made sure that we remain aligned to what the goal is, and what it will be when we are putting together our concept notes. I can resonate with Madam Goyo because last year was part of a conference, which is a women-based conference. And because my work is more solely on youth development, we had agreed prior that we will be donating sanitary pads to a nearby school. Yes, it's diplomats that are within the conference, but giving back is just one way of showing that we are actually all working towards the same goals. So when I was pushing that in the background, I remember how the budgetary was already set, and all of a sudden on the actual day when we have to do our purchasing, the finances were apparently not available, and it just made us feel like we were being a failure to the young people that were expecting what they were expecting. So when it comes to the resources, taking from the little that you have is just one way of saying that we are actually making a difference, and we actually did do something about it. We had to lock here and lock there, and open other doors instead of being limited or narrow-minded. But just to put that no matter where we are, because I'm from South Africa, but we were in Ethiopia when we were having this conference, and we already doing it in South Africa. But it wasn't a limitation of where I am, from, but what the actual goal is, that every young girl deserves, to not be part of what we call period poverty. But with that being said, thank you so much for today's session, and also the comments, reigniting what we are already here for. Thank you so much.
You're very much welcome, Okuna, from joining us all the way from South Africa. Thank you very much. So at this point, I want to believe that we are fully incorporated in the lineup of things, and I believe that we all have equally registered in the attendance link, which was shared on the chat box. I just reshared that now. We are going to follow up with all other comments and questions, and provide answers to all of them on the platform. Please feel free to tag me, Willie Akpan, on the platform. I'm going to respond to all your comments and queries. And then as for the template, which I said earlier, the template is going to be shared with all of us. So it's going to guide is going to guide us in crafting our project. So it's going to be very seamless with the document once you have it. All right. So I believe we're all on the same page now. So let's just call it a day, and then I wish us a very beautiful night rest. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
All right. Good night. Good night, everyone. Please, the
Good night, sir. Good night, ma'am.
yeah,
Thank you
the
all for
attendance link. The
night was
attendance link is there. You can take it up and then fill it as we exit the session. The attendance link is on the chat session. Thank you and good night, everyone. Bye bye.
Thank you. Good night. Thank you, sir.
Good night.